All right. So the main operations associated with binary search trees are the insertion of a node or insertion of a value inside a binary search tree, search for an existing node or existing value in a binary search tree, and deletion of an existing node from a binary search tree. Other than that, there are operations like display and traversal. I am online, right? Yeah. Yeah, Shashank, you have raised. Oh, okay. And other than that, there are operations like display and traversal that we have already seen while discussing the binary tree. These two functions will be remaining the same uh, with the one that we have discussed in binary tree. So this will be same. So basically same as binary tree. But we need, as there is a restriction in binary search tree that the left subtree will be containing values less than the root and right subtree containing the values greater than root. So insertion and deletion would need some amount of efforts to actually insert the element or delete from the element. So to insert one node in a binary tree, specifically binary search tree, we first need to compare the node or the value stored at the node with the root data or the root node. I mean, the information stored in the root. So, for example, this is the tree. If this is the tree, X is in the root. If I want to insert, say, Y, I need to check whether what is the relation between Y and X. So if Y is less than X, it will be going into the left direction. If Y is greater than X, it will be going into the right direction or right subtree. It will be going in the right subtree or it will be going in the left subtree. And as I have discussed in the last class, in case Y is equals to X, that is if the value is same, that is if we want to add one node, one data which is already existing in the tree, it will be ignored. So it will be ignored means it will be just, I mean, as the node, as Y is already present, basically Y and X, as Y and X are same, Y is already present in the tree. So we'll be just ignoring insertion. So, but as I have discussed, in some cases, you might want to insert this Y again in the tree as well in some other way. So I hope I'll be able to discuss that in tomorrow's class with a real life example. When, I mean, the case where exactly we need to have this information again and again and again. Okay, so the basic algorithm is like this. If the node is less than root, specifically this is the C notation for that, V is to be inserted to root left, and this will be a recursive call. And if root left is empty, I mean, after going to root left, if we see that root left is empty, we will be setting V as the left child of the root. Note that this root is, I mean, as I am saying, this will be a recursive function. So every time from this point, we will be calling this function, say insert, with the root left. And from here, this is again a recursive function call. So insert, say root, right. So this is left. So as I am saying, this will be a recursive, this is basically a recursive definition. So every time if I see the node is less than root, I'll be calling the same function with the root left. If I see the value is greater than root, I'll be calling the same function with root right. And at any point, if I see that root left is empty, I'll be setting the new node as the left child And if I see, I mean, inside this condition, if I see that the root right is empty, I'll be setting v as the right child of the root. All right, so let's try to write the program, or let's try to discuss the situation on how to do that in real life or in practical application or practical C language. So let's consider, so initially there is nothing. So initially an empty tree is a binary search tree as well. So this is a binary search tree when there is no node. Let's say we insert say 13. So when we insert 13, so initially root is null, right? This is an empty binary search tree. This is an empty binary search tree. So when we insert 13, we know that root is null. So what we need to do is we need to make one node. So we need to make the node with the value, and the node will be containing again left and right subtree as we have discussed during discussion on binary tree. The left and right subtree will be containing null by default. So this will be created, and as root is null, root will be pointing to that newly created node. Now say I want to insert say 51. Now root is pointing to here. Now the data stored in root is less than the value that I want to insert. So 51 will be going into which direction? Here or here? Here or here? It will be going into the right direction, right? Okay, so what we need to do is we need to we need to change this root from here to kind of point to here. But as this, I mean, the right subtree is already null. So basically what we'll be doing is we will be creating 51 in the same way. We'll be setting left and right subtree by default to null, and we will be changing this null to point to this node. And if I want to insert say 47, so it will be the search will start from the root. So 47 is greater than 13, so it will be going to the right. 47 is less than 51, then it will be going to the left. Now it is null, so here 47 will be created, and the left subtree of the left pointer from 51 will be pointing to the newly created node. Now if we look at the corresponding algorithm to do that, it will look like something like this. So we need to pass, so this is a recursive function, recursive definition. So pass the root and the data to be inserted. So there are two things that I want to pass as parameters. If root is null, create a BT node type node with the data that we have passed that we want to insert, and set the node, basically set this node that I have created as the root, and return the root. So this is for the case when either for the first time when we are inserting one node, when we are inserting 13, or this is the case when we have breached one leaf. For example, when we have breached here and we know we want to insert 47, in that case we'll be basically here the actual insertion or the creation of the node is actually performed, and the corresponding pointers are getting returned. This is the condition when we actually want to when we are seeing that the data that we want to insert is less than the data stored in the root. So we need to call the same insert function. This is the insert function. So we need to call this insert function with root left and as well as the data that we want to store. And we need to assign the return value in the root left. So exactly the same case here. So when we are creating this, we are returning the value from here to here. Initially, when we were creating, when there is only 13, we were creating 51. We are creating 51 and then we are returning the value to this right subtree of 13. So this is the same case. This is the way we can do this using an. I mean, this is the basically the algorithm to do that. So we are returning the value after creating. I mean, basically this insert with root left will be calling this function again. And if root is null, basically if root left is null, note my word. Whenever I am calling insert with root left and root left is null, then basically this condition is satisfied, isn't it? So in that case, we'll be creating the node and we'll be returning that node. And that return node will be set as root left. So you can see return root left. And here, assign the return value in root left. Similarly, we need to do the same thing for the case when the data is greater than root right, when the data will be going into the right direction. In this case, it will be going into the left direction. In this case, it will be going into the right direction or right subtree. Now let's try to write that code. Okay, so I have started. I mean, I have kind of written the things that I want to do in. I mean, perform in a binary search tree. So another thing is, as we have discussed, the BT node will be the same with the one that we have discussed in binary tree, and also the make node function. So the make node function will be creating the node that we are passing. I mean, with the data that we are passing as parameter, as well as the display function as we have discussed. So these three, basically this structure, BT node, this make node function, and this display function, we can copy from the binary tree code to our binary search tree code. So as we have seen, as you can see, I mean, this same BT node will be used here as well. Now let's try. So as you can see, I have started writing one switch case driven program. There are some cases which I'll be filling up. So the first option is insert. So the case one, as you can see, if the user press 1, then it will be inserting one element. And that element, first we need to take the element as input. So I have taken the input as data. Now I need to call one function. Say I need to call the function as so basically so as I have said, I want to return the root. And we have already initialized the root of the tree as null. So what we need to do is we need to call the function which I'll be writing, say insert, and so this insert will be returning the root of the created or modified or edited tree, and that returned root will be stored in the actual root that we have already defined. So this insert function should be taking two parameters as we have discussed. So int, say new data, and the BT node. Sorry. So it will be taking the data as well as the root. Note that I am passing the same root and I am taking the same root as output. So I hope it is clear. Now I need to define this insert function. So as we have seen, the insert function will be returning a BT node type variable, BT node star basically a pointer. So BT node star, then insert, then I need to pass the new data, the parameter, and the BT node starts a root. Now this root is different from this root. Please note that this is a local root and this is a global root. So to make things less complicated, let's call it say parent. Although root would, I mean, if I use root here, that would be again, I mean, it would be okay. First, we need to check if, as we have seen here, first we need to check if root is null or not. So if, so basically the root I am specifying here as parent. So if parent equals to null, so that means there is no node. I need to create one node. So in that case, what we need to do is we need to call this, we need to call this make node function with the new data. So this will be creating the new node with the new data, and the address will be returned to parent. Else, as we have seen here, so else is we need to check whether the data is less than root or greater than root. So else means either the new data is less than the root or greater than the root. So let's consider handling them separately. So if parent data is greater than new data, so that means, as you can see, so the new data will be going into the left direction, right? So the left direction, so this is the case when the root data is greater than the data. So we need to call the insert function with root left and assign the return value in root left. So can someone say what should I be writing here based on this? So call insert with root left and assign the return value in root left. So basically what I need to do is similarly to here. So here I am passing root and storing the return value in root as well. So here, as we have seen, we need to call the function with root left and we need to store the return value in root left as well. So parent left equals to insert new data, and we need to pass the parent left. Everyone with me regarding this? And the same thing we need to do here as well. So I can actually avoid using this bracket because there is only one statement. Else means the parent data is less than new data. So else means basically parent data is less than new data. So the new data is greater than the value stored in the parent. So new data will be stored in right subtree. So I need to call this with right. And I need to pass the same thing to the insert function as well. So this will be our insert function. Now let's try to compile it. There is one error. So, So the error is coming at line number 52.
Semicolon.
Correct. So I forgot the semicolon. And also I forgot another thing. This function is expected to be returning one value. Now can someone say what will be the return value from here? Pretty easy. It will be the parent. Exactly. It will be the parent. Now if I compile, you can see compilation finished successfully. Now if I, so you can see, so this first option is there now. The display function is there now. So if I execute this, say insert, say if I insert say 67, now again say, extremely sorry, I need to press choice. Enter your choice, 1, insert, 67. 67 is inserted. Then again insert, say 23. Now if I display, you can see 67 left child 23. Now if I again insert, say 78. So you can see 78 as the right child of 67. Now if I insert say 34, so 34 will be the right child of 23. As you can see, 67, the left child is 23, the right child is 34. Now, if I again insert, say 55, 55 will be the right child of 34. You can see, and so on. If I insert, say again 44, 44 will be the left child of 55, and so on. So this is the insert function. So if you, as you can see, I have I have completely followed this algorithm while implementing the function. So the function was here. So I have blindly followed that. So just followed this algorithm to implement this. Now there is an iterative way of implementing the same thing as well. The algorithm is like this. So basically what we need to do is we need to iteratively go into the place where we wanted to insert it. So as you can see here, iteratively I am going into the position where we need to insert the new data or the node. Here I am inserting the new the node. This is the node containing the new data. So this is the node. So I am iteratively going into the position where I needed to insert the node. This while loop is doing that, but for here, this recursive call of this insert and insert with root left and root right was doing that. Note my word. Here I am iteratively using a while loop while C node not equals to null. So basically C node is changing. So every time I am inserting one node, I am creating inserting one data, I am creating one node with that data, create a new node with that new data. And if I, so this is for the first situation when there is no data stored in, when the binary search tree is empty. Else what we are doing is we are considering this C node or the current node as the root, and I am changing the C node based on whether the data is greater than the data stored in C node or less than the value. So based on that, I am changing the C node or the current node, and this while loop will be terminating when C node is null. That means when we are ending at a position when we are encountering one null position and we needed to insert that new node or this node containing this data in that position. Note that I am storing the value in a parent. So when C node is null, parent is actually containing the value or containing the position in which we need to insert the new data or this node. So again, if I insert say 13, so for 13 will be inserted as it is only, when the trees was empty, 13 is inserted. Then say I want to insert 17. So now this case, root is here. So C node will also be here. So root is here. Also C node is here. So parent, I am storing parent. So I'm also parent is here. So parent is set to here. Now C node data is 13 and the new data is 17. This is the C node data. This is the node data. This is the node data. C node data is 13. So basically, this condition is getting satisfied. So basically, C node data is 13. No, extremely sorry. This condition is getting satisfied. C node data is 13 and node data is 17. So I am changing C node data to C node right. So basically, C node right is null. So I am changing C node to null. So now C node is null. So this while loop, this iteration is will be terminated. And then outside this while loop, I'll be checking whether the parent. So I know that now the parent is containing the value or containing the parent data of which either right child or left child will be the new node. So based on this condition, whether the value of the stored in parent is greater than or less than, we'll be storing the new data or new node either as the right child or the left child respectively. So now for this case, so I need to check. So parent is still pointing to 17. So I need to check whether parent data, that is 13, is greater than node data or not. So it is basically, so extremely sorry, it should be less than. I've made a small mistake. It should be less than and it should be greater than. So node data, so this condition is getting satisfied. Node data is 17, parent data is 13. So parent data is actually, oh, extremely sorry. I think I was initially correct. So parent data, oh no, okay. Yeah. So this condition is getting satisfied. I made a mistake here. So it should be less than and it should be greater than. So node data is 17, which is greater than the parent data, which is 13. So basically parent, right. So new data will be created. So this should be n. It should not be cn. So node will be inserted as the right child of parent node. So I hope it is clear. We can discuss this. I mean, if you feel like we need to discuss this further, we can discuss this on tomorrow's class. But I want you to write this algorithm. I mean, implement this algorithm in C. So as you can see, I made some mistakes here. This should be node and this should be greater than, this should be less than, and this should be node, not C node. So if you follow this code, you will be able to implement this and it will be an iterative version. All right. So insertion operation we have discussed. Now the two other operations that are needed is searching and deletion. So searching means I need to check whether an existing data, whether a data is there present in the binary search tree or not. So to do that, what we need to do? So if I make one function like this, which is called isPresent, I am passing the root and I am passing the data which I want to search whether this data is present in the root in this binary search tree or not. What will be the code? So first we need to check if root is null or not, and if root is equals to null, then that means not found, isn't it? So data is not found in this tree. Else, what we need to do is we need to check whether the data is again less than the root data or greater than the root data. So if root is say less than data, so that means this data is present in the right subtree. So what we need to do is we need to call this same function with so the function name is isPresent. So we need to call the same function with root right. Why? Sorry, root right. Because I know that the data will be placed somewhere in the right subtree, but I don't know. I mean, I exactly don't know where it will be placed. Note my word. I am specifying it as I will be placing, but essentially I am checking whether the existing whether the data is existing or not. So essentially they are the same. When we are implementing the insertion, we were checking where the data will be residing, either in this iterative version or in the recursive version. We were checking this. So based on this, we were checking whether the data will be where the data is placed based on the greater than or less than or the order in which the node the integers are arranged. like from, I mean, is it ascending order or descending order? Based on that, I need to place that. So based on that as well, I need to call this is present function with the right. So that means this new data is present somewhere in this right subtree, but I haven't encountered it yet. So I need to call this is root with root right, and I also need to pass the data. And also we need to check else if root data is greater than the data, then I need to return is present with root. You can say it. So it will be root left because I know data is smaller. So basically this is the root, and I can see that data is less than the root. So the data is present somewhere in the left subtree. So I need to search the left subtree. So this function will be called with the left the root of the left subtree. So this is basically the root of the left subtree, and so on. And there is another condition. If so, else means, can you say what is the else specifying here? So else inside this else loop. So I'm checking root, whether root is less than the data. I'm checking whether root is greater than the data. So
Equal.
exactly, else means the root is equal to the data. That means we have found. So that means data is found. And that means, so this function would be returning 0 or 1 based on whether it is not found or found. So it should be returning 1. That means it is, this data is found. And if the data is not found, it should be returning 0. So we can quickly write this code as well. So I hope you'll be able to do that. It's pretty easy. So we just need to mention this return type as int. And if you follow this, you'll be able to write this. So basically, we need to print this, and then we need to return the value of 0. And from here, we need to print this found, or data is found, and we need to return 1. That's it. Also, there are depending on searching, there are 2 other aspects that we should be covering. Is to get the minimum value or get the maximum value stored in a binary search tree. Now, can someone say what is where the minimum value is stored in a binary search tree?
Most extreme.
Exactly. So any tree, so if I have a tree like this, so the minimum value will be stored somewhere in the leftmost corner of the tree, and the maximum value will be stored somewhere in the rightmost corner of the tree. So it can be at some place, it might be having left subtree and so on, but the rightmost node will be containing the maximum value. So if I write that, if I want to implement that, it's pretty easy. We need to check, first of all, we need to check if again root is null or not. Null means it is an empty tree. Return null, which means it is an empty tree. We need to check else. If what we need to do is we need to basically check whether the root left. So this is the minimum, right? So we need to check whether root left is we need to check whether root left is a null or not. That means, what does it mean? Come on, guys, it's pretty easy. Root left, null means we have already encountered, we have already reached the leftmost element. So we need to return the root data. And else means root left is not null. So basically we need to call this same function get mean with root left. Similarly, for get maximum, we need to check root right, and we need to basically pass on root right here. Okay, one thing is here I have written root, but I should be doing root arrow data. I hope you have understood that. Here as well, I should be writing root arrow data. Like the one that so basically we are returning the root data. So basically for this condition, I understand that I have reached the leftmost position in the tree. So that will be basically the minimum value where this the minimum value stored in the binary search tree. So I need to return that value. Else I need to go further deep inside the tree in the left part of the tree, or in the left subtree of the present tree. And for maximum, I need to go, I need to do that as right. And I need to check here as root right. All right. So now if we look at the in-order traversal of a binary search tree, essentially, I hope you have already assumed that, but let me explicitly say that. So given a binary search tree, if we run one in-order traversal, so in-order traversal means left, then root, and then right. So if I run an in-order traversal on this tree, we will be getting this sequence. So this will be starting from here. So left, 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 left is null, so root. So 12, then right, 13. So for this tree, left is completed, then the root, 34, then the right. Right, for this, we should be going into the left first, left, then left null. So 38, root, 40, right null. For the whole tree, left is completed, then the root, 49, then the right. So if I go on, so it will be like this. So from the sequence, you can see it is a sorted sequence. It is basically an ascending order of the numbers that are stored in the binary search tree. So it is one thing I would like to mention. So for a binary search tree, if I perform one in-order traversal, we will be getting one sequence which will be an ascending order of the values stored in the binary search tree. Now, two very important concepts in binary search tree called in-order predecessor and in-order successor. So in-order predecessor of a value of a node X, say, is the node with the largest value less than X. So can someone say where this largest value less than X is stored? So if I consider predecessor of 49 of this, so where exactly the largest value less than 49 is stored? So it will be in the left subtree, of course, as it is less than the value in which we are actually looking for the predecessor. So it will be in the left subtree, but we are looking for the largest value. So in this subtree, where is the largest value stored?
Rightmost element of the left.
Exactly, it is the rightmost element, like we have discussed here. So get maximum. So basically, this get maximum should be called on this basically this left subtree. So if I pass on this as the root here in this function will be returning 40. So this is the node with the largest key less than x or less than 49. This is called the in-order predecessor of 49. Similarly, in-order successor is the node with the smallest value which is greater than x. So greater than x means the value the value will be stored in the right subtree. So as x is 49 here, so the in-order successor will be found or will be there in the right subtree of this whole tree, and it is the smallest key. So as we have discussed, so the smallest key we will be getting using this get minimum function, and it will be the leftmost node in this tree. So based on this, the in-order successor of 49 in this example will be 55. Now, let me ask you some questions. So what will be the in-order predecessor of 34? What will be the in-order predecessor of 34? Anyone? What will be the in-order predecessor of 34?
13.
It will be 13. And in-order successor will be 38. So because 13 is the element which is largest among the values stored in this subtree, and 38 is the smallest value stored in this subtree. So these two concepts will be needed while deleting some elements from the binary search tree. So another thing is, in order traversal sequence, the predecessor and successor will be a neighboring value. So the predecessor will be the node just before the given value, and the successor will be just after the given value. So if we consider this sequence, so as we have seen, 49, for 49, 40 is the in-order predecessor and 55 was the in-order successor. So again, just to highlight, in-order predecessor of V will be the largest element in the left subtree, and in-order successor of V will be the smallest element in the right subtree. Any question up to this? This is a very important concept that will be needed for deletion. All right. So I would like you to ask you to write this two functions, in-order predecessor and in-order successor. Basically, given the root node, you need to write two functions, in-order predecessor and in-order successor, that will be returning the in-order predecessor of the node and in-order successor of the node. Oh, another thing. So if I consider this 79, what is the in-order predecessor and what is the in-order successor of 79? Anyone? So for leaf nodes, there is no in-order predecessor or in-order successor, as there is no left subtree or there is no right subtree. There will be no in-order predecessor or in-order successor. For 60, what will be the in-order successor? We know in-order predecessor will be 55. So for this tree, 60, then 55. So 55 is the leftmost element. So the largest element less than 60. So it will be the predecessor, in-order predecessor. So what will be the in-order successor of this, of 60? Anyone? So again, there is no in-order successor of this 60 here, as there is no element in the right subtree. What will be the in-order successor of 73? Anyone?
So 60.
In-order predecessor is 60. You're absolutely correct. And what will be the in-order successor?
79.
79.
Sir, is there a difference between predecessor and order predecessor?
No. So if I write, I mean, to save some space, I have written this, because if I write this in order here, this text will be coming, I mean, was coming up to this. So this tree was kind of not visible that much. So that's why I just written predecessor and successor here. These are basically in order predecessor and in order successor. Okay. So for 73, 79 will be the successor or in order successor, and 60 will be the in order predecessor. So these two concepts will be needed for deletion. So just to give you a brief about the deletion operation, so there can be three cases. So the three cases in terms of deleting one element. First case is delete a leaf node. Leaf node means a node containing no left subtree or containing no right subtree. This is the simplest case. The second case is delete a node with only one child, either left or right. So for example, this node 40. So there is only left node, as you can see 38. There is no right subtree. Or you can consider this as well, which is containing no left subtree but one right subtree. And the third case, the most complicated case, is when we want to delete one number or value when the value is containing two right subtrees, both left and right. For example, this or this. Now let me ask you. So if I want to consider this first case, delete leaf node, what shall I be doing? If I want to delete 79, what shall I be doing to delete 79? It's easy. So basically, as you can see, 79 is not containing one, is not parent to any child. So if I want to
Would it
delete
be
it, yes, please go ahead.
would it be the one with no in order successor or in order predecessor?
Yes. In order successor, there is no in order predecessor or in order successor. That's why it's
So
a
that's
leaf.
that's how we would find the element, right? I'm
Yeah.
asking
So
like
if
how
I
do
delete
we
this, what shall I be doing if I want to delete this?
how
So
would I
basically,
search for how would we search for such an element? I'm asking.
so using this search operation, using this we will be able to check whether, so for example, if I want to delete 79, so first of all I need to come to here, right? So to come to here, I need to, we can use that is present function. So if I want to delete this, what should I be doing? I just need to, so initially the left subtree of this 73 is containing this value, isn't it? I just need to make this as null. That's it. So basically the tree should be looking like this. The left subtree will be remaining the same and the right subtree will look like 73. That's it. And the left subtree of 73 will be remaining as it is. So 55 and 60 and 55, and this will be null. So to delete a leaf node, we just need to return null to the parent of the node, which is we want to delete. So if I want to delete L or VL, we need to pass on null to the parent of VL. So this was the parent. So we need to pass this null to here. That's it. So we will be discussing the other two cases tomorrow's class, and as well as we will be writing the codes. So the second case is simple. If there is only one child, so basically, so for example, this I will be just, if I want to delete 12, I'll be bringing this up. So basically, the left subtree of 34 will be becoming 13, and 12 will be, and the right subtree will be containing null. And if I want to delete 40, I'll be just bringing up 38 to this node, and I'll be making this as null. But the complicated situation is when there are two nodes. So we will be discussing these two, and we'll be writing the codes to delete one node in tomorrow's class. Any question?